Hello, everyone. My name's Kristen Brogdon. I'm Northrop's Director of Artistic and Community Programs, and I'm really happy that you're joining us for a performance preview for our upcoming program, Diaspora on the Rise with the Poetic Diaspora. I'm here with founder and director Joe Davis. Welcome, Joe.
Thanks so much for having me. Excited to be here.
Yes. Good to see you
Yes.
again today.
Likewise, likewise. Yeah.
So,
Kind
Joe,
of.
you and the Poetic Diaspora have appeared on Northrop stages with other programs. You've done our Amplifying Solidarity series. You've been a part of our Spotlight series, but this is your first time headlining at Northrop. So, for our audiences who haven't met you yet, can you introduce yourself and the work that you do?
Absolutely. Yes, I'm an artist, author, and activator of joy. So I primarily use music and poetry to power possibility. So as an artist, the whole reason why I'm an artist is to create space for people to explore their full potential and collective liberation, human flourishing. That's always the root of why I create art. And so it's really a joy and an honor to bring that energy to the Northrop stage. So we need it now more than ever in these times. So really grateful to be ushering in this type of art during this time that we're living through.
We do really need it now. And when we were talking last week, we talked a little bit about how art can help us meet this moment, about how art can help us find that kind of joy and connection that we really need right now. And I'd love to just hear you talk a little bit about how you're approaching this particular concert in this time and what it means to you.
Absolutely, yeah. So as an artist, like the reason why I'm even an artist is because music and poetry and dance and theater have always given me a sense of healing and a sense of communal connection, helped me really find my voice, find who I was, and also was really empowering for me. And so I want to create that space for other people as well. As an educator, someone who does a lot of teaching artist residencies, who travels across the country doing a lot of speaking and collective engagement, I'm always trying to tell people like you don't have to identify as an artist, but what I do want to encourage you to tap into is your creative power, because sometimes we forget how powerful we are. And what better way to remind people of how powerful we are together than bringing them to gather around music and poetry, to dance and sing and lift our voices, right? And so I think that I've always done that. That's always been, I've had a deep sense of calling, a deep sense of purpose around that. But I think that in times like these, where people are so heavy-hearted and they're struggling, there's a lot of despair, a lot of fear. I think when we can have spaces where we come together and dance and sing and cultivate hope together, that's transformative.
That's beautiful. And you alluded to it just for a moment. And so I want to call you in a little bit more about your work as an educator. I think our audiences would love to hear about that too. And how does that calling for you connect with your identity as an artist?
Yeah, so as a kid, I had a lot of really great mentors and teachers and folks who were into the arts that showed me that that was even a possibility. And so, I always loved the arts. I was super creative, had a big imagination, but it took a turn for me when I got really sick. I was always in and out of the hospital, and during that time, I used the arts to help me cope with what I was going through. When I couldn't talk to my parents or my teachers or my friends, I could just pour my soul into my notebook.
Mm.
And then I had teachers were, oh wow, you're a great writer. You should share this writing with the class. And of course, I was a little nervous, a little shy, a little timid, didn't want to share it at first. But I always say, when you have people who believe in you more than you believe in yourself, they're not going to give up on you. And so I had people like that in my life, teaching artists and educators and mentors. And because of them, I am who I am. And so for me, it's like the least I could do is to be that person that I needed when I was younger for someone else, for the next generation. So that's why I love being a teaching artist. I'm a part of the Compass roster. Compass is a local nonprofit that connects artists to other nonprofits, organizations, community spaces. And so I've been doing that for a while now. Even beyond that, for 10 years, I've toured the country. I've gone to every state, including Hawaii and Alaska, as either a teaching artist or performer or speaker. But one of the greatest joys I have doing the work I do is when I get to work with youth and inspire them, because that's what got me started. And so I want to do the same for the next generation and just give back. So
Well, so then let's talk a little bit about the youth choir that you're going to be
yeah.
working with as a part of this concert. You'll be joined by Soda Singers of This Age, the Teen Ensemble of Vocalescents. How did you get connected with that group of young vocalists?
Yeah, just some of the work I've been doing throughout the years, a lot of shared teaching artist residency. We've been in the classroom together, and then connecting with the director, Philip Schultz, too. Big shout out to Philip. He's such a great bridge builder And so he's invited me several times to collaborate with him. And we just kind of become family over the years. Like I really align with their values and just it's always fun. It's always so fun to collaborate with them. So super excited for them to join us on the stage. We're gonna be doing some surprise. We got some surprises, folks. I'm excited. So
Well, and before we get to your other guests, I want to just like ground us a little bit in talking about the Poetic Diaspora. It's one of a lot of ensembles that you lead. What makes this group special, and who can we expect to see and hear on the stage?
yeah, so we've been together for like over a decade now, which is wild to think about. But it started off just as some friends coming together, literally in my living room, just jamming. And then I was like, you know what? Let's go out into the community. I have the show coming up, and they had just invited me to perform at the show, but they also welcomed other collaborators. So I invited some of my friends that I've been jamming with, and we did a thing, and it was like wildly popular. Everyone's like, yo, that was the coolest thing. Like we thought it was just gonna be you, and you had the whole band, and like. I was like, hey, let's keep doing this. And that was like back in like, I don't know, 2015, right? And so we fast forward to now and we just had so much fun that we never stopped. And we've kind of grown and evolved over the years too. It started as about four friends and I just jamming together, and then it grew into this collective. So like their friends brought other friends, and so we have like a handful of artists that we rotate and collaborate with. And we've been doing that for several years now, and we finally have gotten together to push forward this album, which I'm really grateful to share with the world. And I think that there's nothing like experiencing on the live stage. Like I can talk about all I want, but when you actually feel the vibration and the love, and you can move and groove, it like just hits you. That's the best feeling in the world. So we're grateful to share that with folks.
No, that's great. And yeah, I'm glad that you mentioned the album. The concert at Northrop is a celebration of your album. Are any stories that you want to share about making the record?
Yeah, so these songs, I consider these songs like freedom songs for the next generation. So when I say freedom songs, what I mean is I think about folks throughout history who have used music to further a movement of healing justice. Like even you think about Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. linking arms with a multiracial coalition before he marches on a bridge, and they're singing, "Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around," or "We shall overcome," right? And these songs about justice and healing and freedom. So that's very aligned with the themes of our music. But I like to call it freedom funk because it's funky. You can still dance to it, you can groove to it. It's soulful, so it has those same kind of revolutionary, transformative themes. But it also has music that's gonna make you want to groove. And so that's the type of vibe that we're bringing. And it's been fun to just like bring that to all ages, right? Like we've done schools, churches, nonprofits, businesses, and I love to see them when I look out in the audience and I see people of multiple ages, multiple genders, demographics, identities coming together and dancing. And that's like the height of creating music is when you get to share that with other people. So
Well, and it feels like the time is right in this
yeah.
moment for some of these new freedom songs. Like we've been listening in my family to, to the radio and just hearing a lot of the stations that still have DJs that choose their own music are
Mhm.
choosing right now to play a lot of the songs from the civil rights era and those freedom songs that we know in our bones. And we've been having these conversations about like we need some of these songs for our own time. So
Yeah,
thank you
absolutely.
for writing and making that music and bringing it to the stage. We'll be excited to jam along with you.
Definitely, definitely. Yeah.
You also have some special guests with you for this concert. Do you want to talk about any of those folks?
Yeah, yeah. So we're collaborating with Nerd D, who is phenomenal hip hop artist, always just has a really big energy and just like a big heart too. So love collaborating with him. And then we have Brandon Tullock, who's a reggae artist. Who my family is Jamaican, and so I had to create space for that. I grew up with those reggae vibes with Bob Marley, and so that's felt so aligned to collaborate with him as well. And then we have the choir. You already mentioned Vocal Essence Soda, the teen choir, but we also have two other choirs that we're working with as well. We're working with a children's choir called Co-Musication, and then working with an like a group out of North Minneapolis that kind of exploded over the last couple of years, but it's known MPLS. So just a phenomenal powerhouse gospel choir. So intergenerational voices, singing songs about hope, healing, joy, and freedom. Uh, Well, what else could you want? We really need that right now. And so I'm really, yeah, it's going to be a good time.
Well, I want to give you a little bit more time just to talk about the importance of people coming to the concert because, of course, everybody who listens to this conversation is going to go out and buy the album. But, like, why should they come to the concert too?
Yeah, so I mean, I already mentioned how you can't beat live music. Nothing beats live music. You got to be there to feel it for yourself. But also, I think there's something transformative and powerful that happens when we join as a community. And I want to also use this as an opportunity to share resources. Like we're building this expansive network of supports and mutual aid and really crisis response, I would say, given what the context of what we're making music in. But I think that it's a missed opportunity for us to gather and to not make sure that we're building towards something bigger than ourselves, especially for those who are in need. And so I've been connecting with a lot of places that I've already worked with, the churches, the schools, the nonprofits, just saying, okay, what do you need that you don't already have that maybe this other nonprofit has? How do you connect the dots? So that's I've been creating that conversation and creating space for the music to push forward the message and the movement. And so when folks come, yes, they're going to leave feeling lighter and more healed and more hopeful. And my intention is that they'll leave with some resources to continue to help us care for our neighbors.
Yeah, thanks for mentioning that, Joe. And
Absolutely.
I am just thinking a lot in my work and in my own, personal life about how there's really a spotlight on Minnesota right now. And I think
Yeah.
that people have been surprised and amazed and are in awe of the way that our communities have come together in these
Absolutely.
very hyper local, non-hierarchical ways to be able to share the resources and also work on keeping each other safe. Like, is
Mm.
there anything that you would want to say to people outside Minnesota about what you are finding the most inspiring and most, I don't know, helpful in the ways that we're working together right now?
Absolutely, yeah. I think that Minnesota is showing the world how it's done. We're showing the world how to be community, how to care for our neighbor. I think I read an article in the Atlantic, and they said that it's called neighborism. They're calling it neighborism. I think that's such a beautiful term to characterize the ways in which we show up for our neighbor, like regardless of where they're from, regardless of their identity. Like we're like, hey, you're my neighbor. I'm going to care for you. I'm going to protect you in whatever ways I can. And that's been consistent even beyond. And I think that's one of the reasons why the world is watching and why we're so good at it is because we've been doing this. We're well practiced. It's not just in this particular time. That's part of our culture. That's part of who we are. And that's part of why I love Minnesota is because we care for each other in a ways that I don't think happens everywhere. And so I think that's what's going to bring us through this time is yes, it undoubtedly is despairing at times. Yes, there's lots of fear, but our love is stronger than our fear. And I think we're proving that by how we're working together. So
Well, and I feel very strongly that it's a statement of both self and community care to seek joy, like you were talking about, to come together and find connection in these moments. It's a way of caring for ourselves and caring for our community.
yes, yeah, we need both. Both are interconnected, hand in hand. Can't have one without the other. So self-care is community care. To quote another poet and artist and writer, Audre Lorde, she says that self-care is not self-indulgence. She's like, it's self-preservation, and that is an act of political warfare. And so we need that type of rigor. We need that type of commitment and dedication to self and neighbor. I think if we're going to make it through this time and any time beyond this. So.
Yeah. Well, Joe, I'm so grateful to you for taking your time today to talk about this, but also for all of the music that you make, for the work that you're doing in our schools and in our community. It's a gift to Northrop, a gift to Minnesota to get a chance to work with you. So thank you so much for that. Are any closing words that you want to mention to inspire your fellow Minnesotans?
Yeah, I just want to say keep being you, fully you. One of my favorite quotes is by Howard Thurman. He taught Dr. King. He was one of King's mentors and teachers. And so thinking about that lineage, he would say, don't ask what the world needs, ask what makes you come fully alive, because what the world needs are more people who are fully alive. So I think when we're creating a space for ourselves to be fully alive and other people to also be fully alive, that's when we rise higher together. That's when we move from survival to thriving. And so I see us already doing that. Let's continue to lean in, continue to cultivate, and just remember how powerful we are together.
Thank you so much, Joe. We're
Absolutely.
excited to see you and all of the artists who you're working with, and to see everybody watching for Diaspora on the Rise at Northrop on February 21st. It's a Saturday night at 7 p.m. Take care, Joe. Thank you. We'll see you soon.
Absolutely. We'll see you. Peace and love.
Thank you.
Mhm.
All right.